One channel, different shows, everything entertaining. Make a Path presents Let's Talk. Let's talk. Alright, Deadheads, let's get into the Q&A. Christian Bunda. When do you think we will see Morales from Season 1 again, or if we ever will? I heard a rumor he was ready to be on the cast again, according to his Twitter account. Also, 2 new characters are being cast for Part 2 of Season 5. I don't believe so. He did that in 2013, and then again he did it in 2014. I think he's just trying to get hype up, so the producers say, hey, the fans want this guy back. Let's bring him back for a little bit. Anybody, any actor in his shoes would try to do the same thing. You know what I mean? He wants to be on the show again. And it's huge now. You know what I'm saying? He could build a fan base now greater than what he has already because of Season 1, whatever. So I think that is just something that everybody would try to do in his shoes. William Tibbetts, hey Matt, so my question is, do you think Rick will die in the TV show before he dies in the comics? Yes, I do. And do you think that maybe Carl will get some of his story, so essentially becoming Rick in a way? I didn't think about that. However, there is a problem immediately with that. If you make Carl pick up Rick's slack, what happens to Carl's character? Now you're splitting the character. You know what I mean? If Rick dies on the show and Carl becomes Rick on the show, when they adapt the comic book into the show, they're going to have to, you know, make Carl and Rick the same character. What if there's 2 different storylines? I see a problem with that. So, no, I feel like when they kill Rick off, at this point when they kill Rick off in the show, I feel like that would be the end of the show, and they're going to pick up with the companion piece. I have a video coming out about the spin-off, which is, it's not a spin-off, it's a companion series. And my theory about the series is they're prepping already. Like, and this is what's sad. The Walking Dead is huge. The companion series is them prepping for the end of the Rick Grimes storyline. And it is. And I know a lot of people want to stay in denial, but it is. It really, really is. And I'm not saying that once the companion series is up and on TV, our series, the original series, will end. I'm saying once the companion is up, they have a few years under their belt, and they are as popular as the TV show. It's going to come to an end eventually, you know, after time. I still think it has a good solid 8 years. Solid. You know, with the storyline they're doing right now in the comics, if Andrew Lincoln wants to make The Walking Dead his life's career, which, please do it. I mean, anybody on this earth would do that. You don't need all those other TV shows. Look at the fans. Look at how much they love and adore you. What can you take? What job can you take after this that's going to be as rewarding? You know what I mean? So I think as long as he sticks with this, they'll continue with it. But if he has to go, you know, they might drop off with the original series, go on strong with the companion series, and then try to figure out what to do with any remaining cast that might be in the show, like Michonne or anyone else they pick up. Or they might just kill Rick's storyline off and go on with someone else. It's very hard because I know a lot of people argue this, but The Walking Dead is Rick's story. It is his story. When you open The Walking Dead issue 1 for the first time, the idea is this story follows one man through a new world. That's a zombie apocalypse. It follows his never-ending journey into the world of The Walking Dead. And if The Walking Dead never got popular and never became a TV show, it would stay Rick's story. But because it's so popular, because it's this phenomenon now, The Walking Dead itself is the character. It is the main player. And that's unfortunate because it bumped Rick Grimes down to a secondary character. But at this point in time, The Walking Dead universe has become the main character. But that's not originally what it was. And that's the truth of that matter. You know what I mean? Rick Grimes was the story. Logan Osborne. I'm a new fan of this channel. I like listening to your opinions and whatnot because they make sense and most of your predictions are accurate. But my question is that the bandage on Abraham's hand in one of the trailers, how do you think he gets hurt? And do you think he will be killed off this season? I hope that doesn't happen because he is my favorite character right now. I can say 100% Abraham's going to be around for a long time. It's no mistake that they picked a very talented actor. That's not a mistake at all because they want to keep him around for a long time. Robert Kirkman killed Abraham off in the comic too soon. He admits it. It's one of his mistakes and he has gone on record and said he will never make that mistake again. He wants Abraham to finish out his comic book story he was meant to have. And as a fan of the comic book, I just can't wait for that. I think that is awesome, and I support that 100%. As far as the bandage on his hand, I don't know, but it looks like he gets hurt in a supply run somehow. How he gets hurt, I'm not really sure. But in the trailer from Comic-Con, you see he is the one holding the can, and his hand is all bloody. So maybe he beats someone to death, you know, busts up his hand somehow, scratches it up. I don't know, but it has to do with that somehow. Anthony Nguyen, I had a Vietnamese buddy I worked with who had the same last name. Anthony, I still can't pronounce it. Q&A, do you think Glenn will die this season? No, I hope he doesn't. I want him to stick with the comic book adaptation. You know, they did the Hunters to the T almost, except for they switched out a character. I don't want them to switch out a character. I want Glenn to face Negan and Lucille the way he did in the comic. You know, you gotta keep one or two things that are identical. Some of the iconic scenes. You can't have the Hunters without him screaming tainted meat. You can't have Negan's appearance without Lucille and without Glenn's death. Jin the Rabbit, Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 2. Before Daryl and Carol saw the car with the cross and took off to follow it, it seemed like Carol was getting ready to head off on her own without saying anything. Do you think that's the case? And if so, where would she go? Yeah, I believe Carol was ready to skip out of town. I don't believe that's a main point in the story. I believe that was just a plot point to get her and Daryl outside by a working vehicle as the cross car is driving by, so they can give chase. As far as her leaving the group, yeah, that was the idea. She had a moment of, I don't belong here, and bounce, but it was also more so a plot point to get them outside, to lead them to Beth. And listen, I'm real sorry to whoever's question this is, but I accidentally erased the name when I copied it over. But the question is, so I just realized in the Comic-Con trailer, in the clip where they are all standing around the bed looking sad, I thought it was whoever was the Dale replacement, but I realize now that Maggie is all up on the bed, and Sasha is standing far away from the bed. Do you think the clip is Bob? And do you think it's someone else like Beth? And if so, are they just severely injured, or are they dying? Thanks, you are awesome as always. Well, thank you very much. I don't think it's Beth. It is possible that it's Beth. I'll say that, because Maggie's, you know, on the bed. But if you look at Maggie on the bed, two things. One, she looks like she is comforting somebody who's, you know, dying, not reuniting with her lost sister or whatever. Another big thing, Tara is walking away from the bed. Tara didn't know Beth. She has no idea who Beth is or anything like that. And Tara seemed like she was saying her goodbyes and walking away sad. You know what I mean? Unless she's confessing to Beth she was there when Herschel died, but that seems like the wrong place to be doing that. And everyone's there. Everyone's standing around. Everyone is sad as shit. So no, I do believe it's Bob. And if you look at Sasha, her face is horrified. On top of that, it seems like Glenn is walking up to say his goodbyes. They're kind of like lined up in a little bit. So it seems like everyone's doing a goodbye and walking off. A goodbye and walking off. Bob was close to Maggie when they left the prison. A little bit, you know what I mean? And I feel like she is just there comforting him. But I believe that once all that is over, Sasha might have her alone time with him, you know? Because as we know in Dale's scene, a lot of the group members were around when Dale was in the bed, you know, kind of saying their goodbyes and whatever. D. War. Who is most likely to die from the group after Bob? I believe Tyrese, and I believe possibly Carol. It's just a prediction, so why not just throw it out there? But I think Tyrese, and I'll say why, is because I think it will further Sasha's character and her story, and further her purpose. You know what I mean? Question 2. Do you think the Hunter story arc will be over in a few episodes, or will they stretch this out, giving us a couple fillerish episodes with what's going on with Beth? Yeah, I think that they're going to end the Hunter story at 3 and go right on to Beth at 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 will be the whole Beth, our group, confronting the hospital, you know. Junior Tandock. Will we see Morgan again before the second half of Season 5? If not, when? I believe it's going to be the end of Season 5. If he was in the cast right now, I don't think they would keep it a secret. It feels like Morgan came in recently, filmed the scene by the sign where he follows the X by the trees, and they're going to save that probably to right now. I wouldn't be surprised if someone spotted Morgan filming it between now and November. You know what I mean? I think he'll come up. I don't think they can hide him that long. Unless they're not going to bring him back till season 6, you know? Kabbalah Sherry. How long do you think the Hunter's story arc will last in the show? Because I'm hearing rumors it will be over next episode. If that's true, do you think the first half of the season will be spent fighting the people at the hospital to try to get Beth out? And do you think she'll make it out? Thanks. I don't think she'll make it out. If she does make it out, I don't think she regroups with our main cast. So this Sunday, Hunter's arc is done. You know what, guys? I'm going to break it here, but don't worry. I have about 20 more questions to go through. I'm going to be releasing them within a few hours apart. If you want to get to the next Q&A, click here, and we'll go to the next set of questions, or check out the links in the description below. Feel free to ask more Q&A questions. I'll add them to upcoming videos. Thanks, guys. I'm done talking. It's your turn.